I'm just strapping, it'll be fine. All right, I got loaded with some lumber. They loaded me super fast, probably in less than 10 minutes. There was 2 of them on it, pretty simple stuff. So they pulled me on the scale before strapping. To scale, I'm good on scale, 78,000 pounds. So I'm gonna pull off the scale here, pull over the side over there where they want me to strap and finish strapping up. This load is not tarped. And it goes up to, this is, what is today? Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. This goes up to Wisconsin, but I can't deliver until Monday. So I've got a long weekend of nothing to do, so I'm pretty positive I'm gonna drive the opposite direction back down to Panama City, Florida, and enjoy a couple of days off down there. I know that's a lot of outer route miles, so my RPM, my rate per mile is gonna look pretty shitty, but sue me. All right, so I'll strap the old camera on the hard hat and do some strapping down, and then boogie to get parked for the weekend. I've got tonight, tomorrow is Thanksgiving, then Friday, and I'll probably start driving on Saturday. Maybe I'll take off later in the day Friday, just so I have plenty of time. I'm not really sure. We'll see how nice the weather is in Panama City and how long I want to stay there. The thought crossed my mind I could head up to, not totally, well yeah, wait a minute, it is on the route. I probably could head up to, oh shoot, I have to turn this around. It's upside down. I don't know if it's gonna flip. Hang on. Did it flip? No, it didn't flip. Come on. I'm gonna shut it off, turn it back on. All right, what I was saying, it's flipped now. So what I was saying was, I had thought about running up to Nashville since it's more on the route than Panama City. Running up to Nashville and hanging out there for a couple of days. Let's see, probably want to twist it. Sometimes I don't like these non-tarp lumber loads because you might get the front and the back wobbling out on you. But the reason I think I'm going to go to Panama City because it's cheaper. If I go to Nashville, from where I park, I have to take an Uber down to the city for any fun. And ultimately, I'm going to spend a hell of a lot more money in Nashville. Panama City, I was there over this weekend and it was just super nice and relaxing, and I've got a bunch of office work to do over the weekend, Probably didn't need to flip that one. I've got a bunch of office work to do, and so having my truck parked close to walkable distance from everything will be nice, because I can spend part of the day doing office work. If the weather gets nasty, I can be parked up in the cab doing office work. So that's, I think, what I'm going to do. Okay, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's see, I think I've got 13 winches on that one side. So just barely made it. Nice to get a no tarp load every once in a while. Gosh, guys, I've had a rough week. I know it's only Wednesday, but this week's been rough. Oh, I need one more. Probably don't even need to twist these ones. They're so short. So that winch is broken. So the problem with these bunks like that, sometimes the middles will start coming out on you. I wonder I'm a little nervous of that happening. Thing is, in the back, you can't see it when it's happening. And it never tends to happen when you're you know, slowly, where you can stop every so often and look at it. Seems like. Doing the X pattern might help to stiffen up that pallet a little bit. Or the bunk, I mean. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you guys do for that. Kind of a common problem with this sort of thing. Okay. We're gonna go like this. It's a brand new strap. Okay. Damn it. Okay. Ooh, I made it. All right. That might be overkill, but I'd rather that than... Sometimes that X on the back there will put kind of some pressure other than downward on the bump and keep that stuff from coming out, has been my experience. Okay, on these ones, because they're angled, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap them. Oh, then we won't get them very tight though. Nope, I guess I'm not gonna do that. The problem with just rolling up your strap on the winch, guys, a lot of people do that, but you can't get that winch super tight when you do it that way. Because the more you push on that winch, the more it just winds up. I mean, you'll eventually get it tight, but it tends to just keep stretching the reel, because you got so much strap wound up in there, you can't truly tighten the strap, has been my experience. So I don't like to do that unless it's stuff that doesn't need to be super tight, like onions or some sort of, like that soda ash that I hauled the other day. That stuff, the product consistently will bend to your strap, so you'll never get it all that tight anyway, and it rides pretty good as it is. So, but for lumber or steel or anything that you need to get super tight, I don't like to wind the excess strap on the binder or on the winch, because I've really not been able to get, I mean, you got to sit there and really tighten that sucker, and all you're doing is just tightening the wind. It's not actually putting much pressure on the strap. Well, guys, I'm in the old truck. As you can see, this is the glider. It's got the 2WS cat in it. Love that engine. That's my favorite engine. But ultimately, the old cat just can't keep up with some of the new technology anymore. It's sad. I've been doing all right on fuel mileage, but because my APU AC is broken, the heater works okay on the APU side, but the AC compressor needs to be changed. So I'm getting a lot of idle time. So my last few fill-ups, I think I did a Rock Springs, Wyoming to Amarillo, Texas. That was 7.2 with a little bit of idle time. I didn't track the idle time on that one. Then the other one, Amarillo down to Louisiana, I got 8.1 miles to the gallon, which was pretty good for a cat. I think I tracked the idle time, but I don't remember what it was. I'd have to look. I want to say it was like 2 hours or maybe an hour and a half of idle time. So there was some idle time, plus there was an entire 8-hour period of APU because I didn't have AC, but it was hot in Texas when I parked. And if I ran the APU, I could use the fan, and it moved it all it. So I ran the APU all night just for the fan, so it could move air around. So that 8.1 was with some engine idle time and all night APU run time, which was probably 8 hours or 7 hours or something. So if we take all that out, it might have been as much as 8.5, something like that. So in that case, the cat can do pretty well. The problem is that Amarillo, Texas, down to Louisiana, that's always going to be a good fuel mileage lane. It's downhill the whole way pretty much. And I want to say from Amarillo to Dallas, I had a tailwind. So we would expect really good fuel mileage on that. If I did that same run with my Packars, it probably would have been 9.5, maybe even pushing 10, because it was a good fuel mileage or a good aerodynamic load as well. I had that 4-foot tarp load on board. That's really good aerodynamically. Low on the trailer, nice and sleek. So that same run where I got 8.1, had I done that in one of the Packars, it would have been almost certainly north of 9. But 8.1 with the cat, that's, you know, it's enough to write home about, I guess. And then my next fuel up was Wildwood, Florida. And that was 14.8 hours of idle time and a decent amount of APU time, because one of the nights I did the same thing, or maybe 2 of the nights I ran the APU just for fan. I need to go to Walmart and get an actual fan that plugs into my inverter, so I don't have to run the APU just to have circulating air. I used to have a good fan, and I don't know what happened to it. But a lot of times if it's, you know, 75, 76, it's a little hot to sleep, but if you get a little bit of air moving around in there, it's fairly comfortable. But ultimately I just need to get the APU fixed or put a new APU on here. I'm sick and tired of this APU breaking. I might just, I don't know. Oh, so the next one was Louisiana, bunch of shit over the weekend, like 4 days of idle time and all that stuff, and it was 6.7. So 6.7 miles to the gallon. with a bunch of idle time, a bunch of APU time. I thought that was pretty good. Of course, I had a decent amount of empty time too, because I deadheaded down to Panama City, like 170 miles, and then I deadheaded another 100 miles to go pick up a load in Youngstown, Florida. A load of sod that really screwed me up. I was a pain in the ass load for a stupid little tiny load. But and then I went down to Florida with it, delivered, and then went to Wildwood, parked last night and fueled up. So honestly, the cat's doing pretty good on fuel mileage. I mean, it has no tank skirts. It's much better aerodynamically in the front end than like a 379 or something. But and it's got it's the low top sleeper, which my Packars kind of have a problem with fuel mileage due to the fact that they're tall roof sleepers, and most of our freight, almost all of our freight, really doesn't work well for a tall roof sleeper. So we're actually getting a disadvantage from having that tall roof on the Packars. So in the past, when I've ran these trucks side by side, the Packar always gets about a mile per gallon better than this one. But if I keep this one out of the west, keep it in the east, where there's not very much wind and not very many hills, and if I keep the idle time down, I can get about 8 miles a gallon in this sucker. But if I did the same thing in the Packar, it'd be over 9. That's what I was afraid of, guys. You do these angled straps, they don't tighten your slack very well. All right, I'm gonna fix that problem here. We'll wind it up in the All right, I'm gonna end the video. No sense, pretty simple stuff, just tighten straps, then go check out. So there's no sense recording a bunch of footage of boring stuff. So that'll be the end of this load till Monday, and that'll be December 1st, I think.